Hi, this is Steve Barrett, Editor-in-Chief of PR Week. I'm at the Cannes Festival of Creativity with Gail Heimann, who's Vice Chair of Weber Shandwick, and also, more importantly this week, Gail, you were the President of the Judges for the PR Lions. You finished the judging yesterday and the awards were given out last night, so you're probably looking forward to a well-deserved rest and a drink.
Absolutely.
But what were your overall impressions, having done the process, having been locked in a room for a week with the judges from all around the world? What impressions did you take from the process and the winners?
I had a lot of impressions. One, there's no better place to be sequestered than Cannes, of course.
It's tolerable, isn't it?
And it's totally tolerable. And being sequestered with a group of individuals from all over the world is exceedingly thrilling and interesting and satisfying. So that was terrific. I think there were a couple of, maybe 2 or 3 themes that I saw that were very exciting. One is the work is amazing. It's uniformly amazing. And we whittled it down from give or take 1,300 entries to give or take 700 entries to give or take 130 on a short list to give or take, not give or take, 69 prizes. Overall, and I would say it's true of all the 700 plus in that middle stage, we're media agnostic. Everything we looked at had a social element. There was earned, but there was paid, and there was certainly a lot of owned, and everything was shared. So there was the work really pushed the boundaries of the way public relations has been defined in years past. So that was terrific. The work was exceedingly international. There's markets that always fare well in Cannes, in PR and in advertising, Australia being one of them. Brazil has fared well in the past. India fares well. Terrifically creative markets, and they were well represented. But we saw work from Romania that was exciting, and Serbia that was exciting, and El Salvador that was exciting, and Lebanon that was prize-winning and truly exciting, and Guatemala, and markets that probably aren't seen as creative firepower markets, but terrific creative work.
And the first Grand Prix for
the first Grand Prix for Puerto Rico is huge, an extraordinary campaign, and really great for Puerto Rico. So I think some of those were the key things. The other piece, and we'll probably get to it, is the kind of idea that wins is an idea that is exciting and compelling and throat-grabbing and all that makes you sweat and all those things that a good idea should do. It's also simple. It's an idea you can talk about in a few seconds.
Yeah, so lots of great big ideas, lots of fantastic work, but of course from a US perspective, and maybe from the big PR networks perspective, a little disappointing because there were only 2 PR firms that won prizes. Right. MSL in the Nordics and Prime from Sweden, who did exceptionally well actually. They really seem to have nailed it, but no one else. We had a bunch of shortlists, but none of them actually made it to win Lions. So what are we doing wrong? What do we have to do to step up and start winning? What's going wrong here?
It's a good question, Steve. A couple of things. We should remember that this is the 59th Cannes Lions. Ad guys have been doing this for a long time. It is the 4th year for public relations people. So we are in our neonatal stage at the Cannes Lions, and we have some growing up to do, I think.
Yeah, we should say actually that there were some American advertising firms that won PR Lions.
Yes,
so
no, absolutely. So,
and Draft.
Right, no, I think that's a fair point. It is, as a committed public relations agency person, it is disappointing, but I think it is highly fixable. There's a number of things we need to remember when coming to the Cannes Lions. One is oftentimes PR is about motivation and education and all those things, and they're terrific. When you see advertising, it can be about seduction, and seduction is really, really powerful. And when you see the way the advertising industry, when it is entering public relations awards, it uses the same seduction, the elements of seduction that are involved in advertising, and when a jury watches that, it's really powerful. I think PR agencies can learn a little bit from that. If we want to win at Cannes, we've got to seduce. There's nothing, everybody wants to be seduced. So that's a big part of it. I think the second part of it is we have to look at the kind of work we do. We do enormous programs, terrific programs that span years and have massive stories to tell and move people, but it is very hard to compress that into the kind of video that moves a jury at Cannes. So we have to look at the kind of work we do and really go back to the essence and figure out how to tell that story in a way, because some of those campaigns that our jury looked at, and I knew the campaigns, they were from the United States, they were from big agencies, great work we would all be proud to show, work we would show in a capabilities presentation, and we would be thumping our chests about. That kind of stuff doesn't show as well as a 60-second spot, and it's a very, our business, we got to recognize our core business is a different business, and how we showcase it is something we got to think about.
Exactly, and it's something that we shouldn't beat ourselves up about, but next year come back, learn the lessons, and hopefully we'll be here next year celebrating some wins.
Right, I think we'll see, I think one other point, I think in the advertising world, and it's a good thing, a can win is currency. It's really exciting, It's really important, it's really career making. From a US point of view, a can win is not currency in the public relations industry. It's great, people know about it. I think we have a job to do to make not only a Cannes Lion, but creativity is currency. Internally in our organizations, and then externally with our clients. And when it becomes currency in our world, we will go after with all the muscle we bring to everything else we do in our industry. And I think that, to me, that's probably the most important piece and the hardest to work on. But so I think it'll be next year and the year after and the year after that, and I think we will see a big difference.
Well, Gail, thanks for giving us a look behind the scenes at the process of the PR Lions, and we look forward to next year.
Thanks, Steve. It's been great.